you guys know where I am? This is called the Pea de la UCA. It's right behind the UCA, the university in Antiguo Cuscatlan. And this is this coolest little booth food court that almost all the students go to, and they have lots of international places to try. So today, we are going to try una penda chacula, or African food. And you're going to meet the coolest owner and chef, African, in all of El Salvador. Let's go. Chacula is all the way straight back in La Zona Pea. And don't forget, the menu might have a few things that you don't know what any of the names mean, but there's plenty of descriptions to tell you more or less what to expect. But be ready to try something new. Hola, hi.
Mucho gusto.
Hi. This is Benjamin Franklin. I know it's not what you're thinking, but this is the new and improved Benjamin Franklin.
Thank you so much.
And he's going to tell us first a little bit about how he ended up in El Salvador, right?
Well,
and what he's doing here.
2005, I arrived in El Salvador after 2 visits. My parents were once here, so I was born here, and I came in again to see where I was born. I started as a teacher since I couldn't find a job as a mechanical engineer. I'm a mechanical engineer, specialized in refrigeration and air conditioning. So I started teaching, but later I got tired of teaching, the stress. I decided to open up Una Penda Chacula.
Cool. That's a common thread. You know, I have a degree in chemical engineering, but I am not doing chemical engineering at all. It's like you gotta follow your heart
You
in
do
a
what
way.
you love. That's the most important thing.
And so you've been here for how long?
Just in El Salvador, I've been here for almost 18 years or 19, something like that. Yeah.
And then you've been here at this,
I've
in
been
the restaurant
in
business.
this restaurant for 2 years.
2 years.
Initially, when we started as a joke, just like cooking for few family members. But then later, my wife was like, let's take it to another level. Let's do something that is better because it seems people might accept your food. So we started cooking on shows in Beethoven whenever we had opportunity. But then 2020, we decided to settle down and say, okay, let's start something and let this be our dream.
Yeah, everybody kind of had to settle down in 2020.
Exactly.
So it kind of forced you into making a plan.
Exactly, a new beginning. And here we are, it's 2 years. There are ups and downs, but there's a lot we are learning, and we've learned a lot, and we hope we have more to learn to maintain a restaurant, to run day-to-day, demand for the public. Because food business is not like books, or it's not like air conditioning. You have to do a lot of things every single day to make sure that the public likes the food, and also you maintain the standard of the place.
That's one thing that impressed me about your place is that you're always evolving the menu, whereas that typically doesn't happen. In a lot of restaurants, they're just like, well, nope, this is our menu, this is the way it's always been, and this is the food we always give. I mean, as a chef and as a creator, man, that just gets you all stuck.
Well, the food I'm trying to cook is deep traditional. And it has to be introduced to the public in steps. Initially, we started with chicken, meat, and pork. But then it took time for the people to accept because the type of pork we prepare has a skin. And most Salvadorians, pork with a skin is like a no. Okay, the skin has to be sold separately, chicharron, and the meat has to be sold separately. But here comes somebody with a new method of cooking and a new dish whereby everything is together. So people took time to accept it. However, with time, people started to accept and say, okay, pork with the skin, something we can eat. And from 10 people, then we started having groups to cook for. We cooked for embassies. Recently, we had introduction ceremony for wedding. We cooked for them. We've cooked on weddings also.
Wow. So now you're doing a lot more catering.
Exactly.
Oh.
So we provide catering services for weddings, sweet 16,
Quinceañeras.
exactly.
Yeah.
Different types of, depending on what you want to be catered for.
Cool. And today, guess what? Ben is going to show us a whole new dish that people have been asking for, and he's finally like, okay, let's do this.
Today we are going to prepare fufu. There are so many fufu lovers in the country. They've been calling, hey, do you have fufu? Do you have fufu? Initially, I prepared fufu and I included it on my menu, but I didn't have the pure cassava flour. So I started making cassava flour manually, pounding it, doing everything. So it was a lot of work.
That's a lot of
I couldn't prepare dishes on a bigger scale. A few weeks ago, I managed to crack the code, maintaining pure natural cassava flour, no chemicals, nothing, but pure the way it is. And now I'm ready to prepare it on a bigger scale. So anybody who loves fufu can walk in at any time and say, give me fufu, and I'll be able to prepare it.
That's awesome. You're solving the fufu famine of El Salvador.
Exactly. Since we have the cassava already.
Awesome. Let's do this.
So let's do it.
Let's go.
Fufu is served with 3 stuffs, depending on the region. It can be served with pork curry, prepared with curry and coconut milk. It can be chicken with coconut milk or meat with coconut milk. So today I've decided to prepare pork with coconut milk.
Okay.
Slightly spicy. I don't know how much spice you can support. So I've made it mild spicy so that you can enjoy the dish. Otherwise, if it's mine, I love it super spicy.
Like a Thai, because I mean it sounds a whole lot like an Indian curry or a Thai curry.
Yes.
But when it comes to spiciness, is it more like a Thai curry that's spicy?
No, it's
or more
typical
like an
African curry. Indian, they over exaggerate it because for them they love super spicy. But African food, we prepare it in a way that we balance, more especially in Uganda, we balance the acidity, the fat, and also the hotness of the food. So we have to try to balance those 3 things. It has known to be sweet, it has known to be super sour or like lemon. It has to be neutral. You feel it as you eat. You have to enjoy the food, not to be like, give me water. No, you have to enjoy the food. And the flavors to be maintained.
Okay. And so it makes it different from Thai, because I know a lot of Thai restaurants, you like, oh, you want a level 1, you want a level 2. You know, and it's like, no, there's a perfect balance that has to be reached.
Exactly.
And you eat it at that balance.
Exactly.
You don't sit there and tweak.
Exactly.
Got it.
Also, I'm trying to make sure that the natives, the Salvadorians, because many of them don't like spicy food, are able to enjoy the spiciness of the food. Meanwhile, the dish is not eaten with us.
Okay.
Once it's 100 degrees Celsius, you get the flour. This time I'm not going to use a lot of flour. I'm just going to use little, because I don't know if you've tried this before, so I'm not going to make a lot. So boiled water, you pour it here, and it starts to mingle. This is good because you maintain the texture according to how you want it. Now, one of the most difficult things of fufu or cassava posho, because in English we call it posho, is to make sure that all those white grains you see disappear. So the trick behind is to keep on stirring as
Fast as you can and scraping the bottom.
everything mixes until it's ready. I feel you can smell the cassava as it's cooking. Yeah.
Typically, what you have at home home, would you have fufu more for like a big family occasion or a get together?
This is like a daily meal. If you go like to the west of Africa, Nigeria, Ghana, they use this a lot. Then when you go to like Uganda, the northern part and the eastern part of the country, they use fufu a lot. However, in Uganda, it's prepared differently. Like in the north, they mix it with millet.
Oh, okay.
So the millet is rough, but when you mix it with cassava, it becomes slippery. So when you swallow it, you don't feel the coarseness on your throat.
Oh.
Okay. Within the central.
I mean, millet's really nutritious too.
Yes, it's one of the most nutritious grains
Yeah.
on planet. Once it's not sticking on the spoon, you know it's ready.
There you go.
It doesn't take long. So anybody can prepare fufu at home as long as you have the flour.
Like any dough, once it's like
Yes.
really incorporated, and it's not sticking to the pot, it's
Exactly.
not sticking to your hand, it's not going to stick to your fingers,
Exactly.
then you know you're ready to work with it.
You're ready to work with it. So how do I put it like that? Flip it over,
That's the easy way of taking it out.
and it's done. Now, for presentation, some people would love it round.
Okay.
To me, I'm going to leave it like that because I want to eat it traditionally. We're going to use our hands to eat it. And
So if you don't already know, it's African food. It's a very big deal when you come together to eat. And typically you always tear the food. You tear whatever the bread is, or sometimes they have like a baked pancake in Ethiopia and they put different little sauces in it. And you tear that, the bread substance that's at the bottom, and then you dip it in the sauces, and then you feed the person beside you. And the person beside you will feed you, because that is a way of connection and a way of courtesy and a way of just having a true experience together. So we'll see if Ben's going to feed me and I'm going to feed Ben.
And now for the moment we've all been waiting for. The cassava or the fufu with the special
So
curry.
the drink we're going to have is piña
tangawizi.
tangawizi. Can you say that fast 5 times? Tangawizi.
Piña tangawizi.
Yeah. Okay. And it is kind of a combination of pineapple with ginger. Ooh! With heavy on the ginger. Ooh, that clears it out, doesn't it?
Exactly.
Okay. Now for the main event. Okay. Now here, as is this, even though it's made from grain, it's not necessarily very hard. Okay, so eating this with your hands, it seems a little complicated. Because I'm used to like
many people.
Yeah, so you go in and you just kind of scoop
Exactly. You just scoop it.
along the edge like this,
Dip
and then you dip it with the pork. And here is the pork with the skin combined. You eat it. I've had African before. Fufu is a totally different experience. I mean, this is wild. If you want to have a true culinary experience of something that's just different from anything you've ever experienced before, you gotta come try fufu, because it's very sustainable as far as like it's very thick and like wholesome. You can feel it kind of filling you. But there isn't a whole lot of, say, flavor. It's just like your base, but the flavor is just explosive in the meat and the sauce. And yeah, you were not kidding. When it comes to having the skin and the pork still together, it's a completely different experience.
Exactly.
It's because you have the chicharron, or the outside skin that's very chewy, kind of grasa, fatty, and then you have the texture of the meat on the inside, and it's wild, but it's good. It's really good.
Now
Maybe
it has become the option to many vegans. This tapioca can be served with fish, if you like. Can be served with chicken. Can be served with beans. There's a different way I can prepare beans, and you eat it, because at home we eat it in so many different ways.
Okay. And the best thing to know is that all of this menu is available if you. The number is 7979-0032. They have their own driver that serves just these restaurants. It's only $3 as long as you're within 5 kilometers of the restaurant here. So that goes all the way up to Escalon, Santa Tecla, Merliot. You know, just you can't go out like Mexicanos. That's too far. But Pedidos Ya has some of these plates, but not all of them. So it's kind of best to go direct. And for dessert, Benjamin has challenged me to try one of his in-house cured chiles. Yeah. If the dessert is anything like the drink, we're gonna see.
Try it.
Okay.
It's not that
Go for
spicy.
it.
No, it's not that spicy.
Yeah, it's not that spicy though.
Basically an appetite.
Wow, that's good. Is it in balsamic vinegar?
No, it doesn't have vinegar. It has oil. Plus some different.
It's really tasty. It's like the tastiest chili I've ever had. It's really tasty.
Yeah, people have bought it, tried it. It's good for frijoles.
Oh yeah, this would be really good with frijoles.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah, dice it up, mix it in with the frijoles. The plain frijoles would turn into awesome frijoles. But this has been not just an awesome adventure inside of your mouth. It's been an awesome adventure in culture. It's been an awesome adventure, just awesome, satisfactory conversation. Because the man is teachable.
Gracias.
Any last words?
All customers, all people in El Salvador, you've seen us in different videos, but what we ask you is to come and try it. Food from Uganda is cooked with all our heart, and the taste is totally different. The public that have tried it will let you know. And please come and try fufu. It's now officially here every day, any day you want to try fufu. You can prepare fufu with meat, chicken, and pork. Soon we'll try fish for those who love the fish. Thank you so much.
I am Jenny Adi, shining my light so you can shine yours, and we'll see you guys next time. And he said it, you just have to try it. There's no way to describe it. Bye.
Don't forget